Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now, this is a general reading for whatever sign is in the title because it's a bulk introduction. There will be a timestamp down below in the description so that once you've seen the introduction once, you can fast forward ahead of it. And the reason I say that is because you want to watch more than one. This is for the full moon. So you want to watch your sun sign, naturally, the I am. You want to watch the rising sign, the I am becoming. But obviously, it's the full moon. You maybe want to watch your moon sign. There may be other areas of your chart you want to look at anyway. So, it's a general reading for the sign in the title down there. Now, this is the full moon in Pisces at 10 degrees Pisces. Now, a full moon is all about opposition. Moon opposed sun. So what I like to look at in these Gods at Play readings are what gods are supporting you and lifting you up, and what gods or what god forms the archons take as they are trying to suppress you and keep you limited and in fear and in need and in want and incomplete and all of that, you know, all of the most anti-new age and probably pro-consumerism stuff that you can think of. Now, these are God cards. By their very nature, these readings are dramatic. It is symbolic. And so much fun, but it is symbolic. What I would like to look at beforehand is the actual full moon itself. I mean, it's in Pisces. It's the big spiritual full moon, which interestingly, Neptune at 20 degrees Pisces, so 10 degrees away, so not really even a full conjunction. However, 20 degrees Pisces for Neptune is the natal Neptune of A8 of the Order of the Golden Dawn. So this is a great full moon for all the other symbolisms aside, and they echo this as well. This is a great full moon for spiritual development. I mean, this is a great season for spiritual development, but especially with this full moon, magical exploration. Magical exercises to get to know further layers of yourself. Now, I could wax lyrical about the astrology of it, but chances are I could get things wrong because I'm still learning my way around astrology and will be for another 5 or 6 years yet. And down in the description, there is a link to the Facebook page for this group where I have already posted oodles of relevant videos from the YouTube astrologers about this full moon, and I will keep posting them as I find them once I've watched them myself and absorbed them all. So yeah, come and join the Facebook page. It's well worth it. Obviously, being a YouTuber, I'd like you to like, share, subscribe and comment. But I want to look at the symbols of the moon. The other thing is, with this moon, it's, now if I remember this correctly, I think it's Uranus. Uranus is trying something. I'll be able to tell you. Uranus is trying something and sextile something else. Let's just bring that information up. Bear with me. Because this is, yeah, it is sextile the moon. Oh, of course it is. 10 degrees Taurus, and trine the sun. So there's a beautiful triangle of energy there between the two luminaries and Uranus. This is a time, people call this time in history the Great Awakening. I'm not entirely sold on that idea, to be quite honest. However, certainly this full moon offers a great revealing in your personal lives, in your love life, in the workplace, in the political landscape, in your spiritual self. And certainly that is why I mentioned about AU8, 20 degrees Pisces of Neptune. You can invite that revealing in, if that is what you wish to do. Now, make your own mind up on that one. Now, the degree reading from Inside Degrees, so Chandra symbols I think they're called, I'm taking Pisces 11 because 10 degrees, let me see, it's the full moon is at 10 degrees 11 minutes I think, so basically it's in the 11th degree. So Pisces 11, a high crumbling wall. It is part of a ruin and covered with ivy. Power is stored in the earth at primal quickening points. Often in these places, humanity erects monuments to its own folly. Eventually these things merge into the landscape and everything comments upon everything else, being held between the earth's wise presence and humanity's dim apprehension of what is really involved here. One side of the feeling, nature is so intuitive and psychically astute that you are harbouring advanced gifts that can serve the earth evolution in staggering ways. On that note, a couple of astrologers have been talking about us accessing our superpowers, however you want to define that. The peace dealer being one of them, but in the more restrained side, Ksenia Moore said much the same in her recent full moon thing, again posted on my Facebook page. Right. Another side of the feeling nature is contorted with reactions, judgments and condemnations of the collective trends of humanity and of the weakness of the human flesh. One more interjection, look at the news. These objections and rejections of the human scene rebound upon the self and poison the psychic faculties. It is only when you heal and forgive and renounce the minor key irritable voice, inside and out, that the flood tide of burgeoning awareness of what is arising in this earth with all its ripples can wipe away the false structures and foster the new birth, the tuned in and blessings focused outlook and in luck. Now the Omega symbol of this is 3 undines guarding a golden treasure at the bottom of a river. That river is the river of change. The undines are the water nymphs, or well, water spirits. Golden treasure to be unearthed in the flow of change. But going back to that Chandra symbol, it reminds me of a thing in the Course of Miracles. With all of the division and what either side of the fence you fall on, with everything that's going on in America, in Mauritius, in Poland, in so many places across the world. Whatever side of the fence that you fall on, when you are tempted to judge and condemn the others, it's A Course of Miracles would say it's okay, because everybody is playing the lesson, everybody is playing the role that they agreed to play before coming here. Everybody is learning the lessons that they, well, hopefully, or is being confronted with the lessons, let's put it that way, that they agreed to before they came here. So if you despair at the evil Trump voters or the lunatic libtards, whichever, then let that go. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing what's right for them. And it's only with that acceptance can the true revelation bubble up to the surface, I suppose. Can that, yeah, that golden treasure rise out of the river. So I think I've waffled enough hippie hoo-ha so far. So let me bring up the cards. Just before I bring the cards up, there's one thing that I neglected to mention, is that this whole full moon is occurring with the backdrop of Mars square Saturn. And that shows that wanting to drive forward energy, but having our limitations being pointed out to us. Now, a few minutes have passed since I filmed the last bit, and I've just spent a lot of time thinking about it. I firmly believe in all the hippie claptrap that I just came out with. But it's not okay to shoot people. It is okay to fight back against those things that you find abhorrent. It is okay to demonstrate. It is... So, whereas I'm saying, oh, achieve this Zen-like state of non-judgmentalism, at no point does that say stop fighting for a better world. It's just, I do believe what I said, but I find it hard to put it into the real world sometimes, because in the current climate it sounds facile. And it's something I've been struggling with the entire time of this channel. Because, as I have mentioned, I'm a political animal. I keep abreast of politics a lot, and I have opinions, and I can't help but have opinions. And under that Course of Miracles philosophy, me having opinions is okay, and other people having opinions is okay. But I have to draw the line at shooting people. But I think, I only hope that this Mars square Saturn works to the betterment of society, where that driving forward force on the side that I would find morally questionable is restrained, held back, thwarted, forced to reconsider, which is all what this Mars square Saturn, Mars retrograde square Saturn, then Mars square Saturn again, is supposed to be about. As I say, the astrologers can talk about it far better than me. Go and have a look on my Facebook page for the channel to see their videos. And don't forget, there is also an inbox where you can contact me directly if you are looking for a personal reading. And this time I really, really will bring the cards up, I promise. Right then, Aquarius, and welcome to Aquarius Rising and Aquarius Moon if you've just joined us after the timestamp. Now, if you are indeed Aquarius Rising, then this full moon is occurring within your second house, your assets, your finances, things that you value. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that is where the effect of the full moon will be felt, because it rather depends on where your natal planets are and whether it's squaring or conjoining or what have you them. Now, with everybody else, I have started this month to start with the gods that are arraigned on your side. But of course, Aquarius, you are the odd one out, because I need to start with those forces arraigned against you, trying to repress you, which is what this top row represents, to explain how the bottom row is actually there to assist you. So we start with Anubis with protection, Odysseus with the journey, Valkyries with redemption, Baba Yaga with loss, and Athena also in the role as protectress. Now, excuse me, this to me, remember this top row that I've just read out to you, these are the archons pretending to be the gods, working their, if magic's the right word, working their magic to keep you repressed, keep you in pain, in misery, in fear, away from your divine higher purpose and all of that business. So we've got two issues of protection here. And the Valkyries with redemption. Now, Baba Yaga is somebody who was very, very crafty, and people were aware of this, so they would seek her out for advice. Sometimes she'd advise them for the better, sometimes she'd advise them for ill. And it's almost like you are getting bad advice here. It's like a guilt trip is being put upon you. There is a challenge that is laid before you, for you to defend what is yours, for you to redeem yourself somehow. Redeem yourself from what? Why? It's almost like, even if there is something that you want to redeem yourself from, the advice that you are receiving is not the way to do it. It's not the way to be successful. And I think you need to maybe stand back a little. And the bottom row has a warning first about how you express your anger. That's what Typhon is here to tell us. But with Typhon and Ra coming out together, the two cards were practically stuck to one another. It's almost like you are being advised to not react, but certainly to act, and to channel that anger, that indignation in a direction that helps you resolve. Now, if you have any redemption, because also here at the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, 3 cards fell out. I took all 3 because I also noticed there was a theme. So we have Imamia with atonement of errors and Hariel with purification. So maybe you feel that there is some form of redemption that is required of you, but I really feel that you're wrong. You know, just to cheer you up. It's the only redemption that is required is to stop believing that redemption is required, is how I'm feeling. And if there is some true proper redemption to be found, then to a certain extent now's not the time to worry about it. Now is more the time to listen to the guidance that is coming to you, and the opportunity for that redemption will come through the effects of your actions. But going along somebody else's roadmap for redemption seems to be a lie and a trap. I've said that on every reading, I think, so far on this full moon. The top row is heaven for Admiral Akbar. It is a trap. It's almost like it's almost like you are being told that you need to set something right, and you need to set something right by doing this, 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 and this. And 1, do you really need to set it right? 2, is it a thing that you need to set right? Because the whole thing feels like a guilt trip and manipulation. Interesting array of cups. It's all right. It's almost like some form of protection is threatened to be taken away from you if you do not do this redemption. But if you really want to be going through a period of purification, as this Hariel here is suggesting, then one of the things you need to purify yourself of is this influence that is telling you that you need redemption. Because I don't think, divine pairing, but obviously in this spread, that's interesting. So we've got King of Wands, Queen of Wands, right next to one another. Yeah, it's almost like less action, more reception, because Ceridwen is saying that the messages will come through for you to see what the path ahead is. Lakshmi is saying that prosperity will come your way if you are being pure in your intent. If you are, if you're wanting money for the sake of money, yeah, Lakshmi is not interested. But if you are being good and kind and you're struggling a little bit, Lakshmi will help. Or if you want money to open an orphanage, for example, that's where Lakshmi is useful. That's awful. But yeah, that is where she is likely to smile upon you, is probably a better way of phrasing it. This column here, 7 of Wands clarifying Odysseus. So it's almost like you are you're being, by this guilt trip, by this tale of needed redemption, you are being forced onto the back foot to want to be defensive against it. But the very fact that you are being told this, yeah, it will cause you some pain. The awful thing is it's saying deal with that pain because it's not necessarily true. And so if you are feeling the pain from that, why are you feeling the pain from that? I'm rather getting the feeling it is to inure you, to make you immune to some other pain that could occur later. It's almost like this is training. The positive forces are using the negative forces tactics. Not that they are using the tactics, they are using the fact the negative forces are using those tactics as a way of going, yeah, you go face them, and then afterwards come back here, and then we'll start on the proper work. So it's like the metaphor of weight training. You go and lift that weight, and then when you come back, we'll then go and lift a heavier weight. And so I feel like there's an element of preparing you for a heavier weight later, which you will just be able to shrug off. And the reason that I say that is here, the central card from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell is Kahithel with divine blessings. And with that opposing Barbatos, my mind is suddenly completely empty of anything about Barbatos in the Goetia, and is full of Barbatos of the dark multiverse of DC Comics. And so it's almost like this is a chance to stamp out some... I'll call the reading this. This is a chance to stamp out some nightmares. Because the only reason that this guilt trip could be effective is if part of you believes it. And the only reason why you would have this anger is if part of you believes it, even if you're desperate to not believe it. And what you are wanting to go through is a purification process to not believe it anymore, because it's not relevant. It's a lie. There's nothing that you need to necessarily atone for. And even if you have the opportunity to atone for it simply by living, not necessarily by tackling the issue that requires atonement, because your energies are being directed elsewhere to do good works elsewhere. And then at the end of all those good works, you can then look back and go, have I atoned? And it's up to you to say yay or nay and go by your guidance and see what feels right. But in the meantime, you've already done some good works. So, win-win. So, yeah, that's actually a really nice reading, but it does look like there's what's the thing? I want to say an element of a emotional roller coaster, but the minute that I said that, it's not that much of a roller coaster. Whatever this guilt trip is, it's not like it's something you don't already know about, and it's not like it's something that it's almost like I get the feeling of, this old chestnut. Whether you agree with it or not, if you do agree with what they're saying, which you shouldn't be doing, but if you do, then it's been something that you've maybe wanted to sidestep for a while, or not known how to deal with, and they are giving you a route to deal with it. Don't take that route. Simple as that. Do not take the route they are offering. that is not the right route. Carry on doing the good works that you're doing. Because Zeus here, with his all-father, sky-father power of supremacy, is here looking after your positive efforts. And your positive efforts seem like they already have directions. So the atonement process, if required, big if that, is already underway, whether you think it is or not. But I mean, to have Zeus, to have Ra, to have Gaia, you know, those are three heavyweights on your side. And even Typhon is a heavyweight. I mean, he's a scary, fearsome heavyweight, but he is a heavyweight on your side here. There is a lot of power for you to draw on. And Ceridwen here will allow you to see the way. So, I hope that means something for you, Aquarius. I'm back to the position of I was always told if you understand the message that you are giving, then you're doing it wrong. And I must admit, I can see the shape of that, but I can't say as I understand it. So hopefully it's a useful message for somebody. If it is, comment down below. I will see you next on the monthlies, which may be a week away yet because crazy schedule, and I apologise. But in the meantime, go and watch your moon, rising, other signs. Cheers.